Yay! You coming?
Yep.
I'm in my mermaid snuggie for this. I don't know if I can like gracefully just. There we go. Ooh, it looks like little weird feet. I'll give you the mouse, maybe.
Sure.
Cool. We're just gonna wait a minute, and we've got people logging on. Can you hear us? Because see, the green isn't moving.
Yeah. I don't know if that's right.
Can you hear us, Oliver? Yes. Okay, we're good.
I've got the mute button there, but it's just the volume isn't jumping around today.
Yeah, I have a second one. Where's my second one? Where's my blue one? You should be in the blue one.
I'm really warm.
Like, this could be a thing.
Yeah.
We could be like the two grumpy men from the Muppets.
I'll be grumpy, but I just don't like that.
Do you see my hair after being in the chlorine? Look at the bottom of it. It's like blonde. The pink is gone. Really blonde in the back. I have like a shampoo that makes it pink again, like temporarily, and I'm just going to do that until I get it done. But I have like chlorine hair. It's so fried, even though I gave it 2 treatments this weekend. So, yeah, exactly. It's like an ombre kind of thing.
Same thing happened to me. It's gray here. It's chlorine.
See, our new followers don't realize that your hair is not always like this, though.
What do you mean?
He's normally got way shorter hair, and right now he's got like Doctor Strange hair or Uncle Jesse hair.
It's getting long. I got like a pompadour going on.
Yeah. I don't know if everybody knows this, but I have a buzz underneath mine. See? I did that to help because I sweat really bad down here. And yeah, you can't even tell unless I put it in a high ponytail. Like if I do a regular ponytail, you can't tell. So only really if I put it up high. What are you doing?
Put your drink on that. It's going to keep bumping your mic.
Oh, it's my drink? Okay. I knew you were running around doing something. Yeah, so if you... Oh, what did I do? There we go. If you haven't done one of our live streams before, typically what we do, it's very chill. It's very relaxed. We just kind of catch up on little things that really wouldn't make a video on their own. We tell you what we've been up to with our business. You can ask us questions. Our last one that we did, somebody came up with remembered a story from like 8 years ago, and then we got into telling it, and it was really funny. So you can ask us about stuff like that too. And Maggie says she likes my new profile pic. Thank you. That was actually from a shoot that I did for Ubisoft, the gaming company locally. They would do these internal projects and have creative professional development where they had to do some kind of artwork within a certain theme, and the theme was mermaids. And so a photographer took me out and did these really beautiful mermaid photos. So there's actually a video of the behind the scenes, and I'm getting pummeled by the cold waves. Yeah, so who do we have today with us? We've got Tracy and Oliver and Thomas and Maggie, Travis. That's great. I'm sure there's going to be some more who pop in. So, yeah, so I have stuff I can show her. We can talk about the weekend. What do you think
we went swimming twice on the weekend here. We were so lucky. So,
hi, Sarah. So here in Nova Scotia, there's been very few cases of COVID because we're very, very strict on our restrictions. Masks are mandatory. Social distancing is mandatory. Like, it's the law. You can get fined if you have big gatherings or don't stick to the limits. The borders are closed, and we've actually closed to other provinces as well. So if other people from outside of our province bubble come in, they have to quarantine and self-isolate for 2 weeks. So if they're coming from like British Columbia to Nova Scotia. And because we've done that, we've caught people who have COVID that would have brought it in from somewhere else and spread it, and they didn't know they had it. Like nearly every case that they catch has been people who didn't know they had it.
Yep.
And because we've stopped it in its tracks, it hasn't spread. We've got no community spread. So we keep hovering between no cases and like 1 or 2 cases. Right now, there is one person who came in for university and self-isolated like they were supposed to, but got sick in that 2-week period. got tested and got very seriously ill. And this is a young person like younger than me, and they're in the ICU, I was reading.
Yeah.
So that's the only person in our entire province who's sick with COVID right now. And
crazy.
how many people do we have? 500,000?
Gee, in the province? No, we got 1 million. We got 500,000 in the city.
Half a
and
million.
our whole province is 1 million people. So for contact tracing, that's not that many people, and we live in a peninsula. On a peninsula.
Okay, listen, any zombie movie you watch, they're always trying to come to Nova Scotia because we're like a peninsula. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It was on Vampire Diaries too. Everybody always comes to Nova Scotia and they don't even know what it is.
What was that zombie movie X or Z?
World War Z. They were all
at the end of the movie, they come to Nova Scotia because somehow it's safe here, I guess. There's some truth to it, I guess.
Yeah, so basically, because of all these restrictions and stuff, we weren't able to swim or do gigs or anything. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, we weren't able to do swims or gigs or anything. And then finally, they said, yeah, you can do private swims for 10 people. And the rentals are so cheap. Normally, it's like $250 to like rent a pool here for an hour. And we've been renting them from anywhere between $20 and $50. Yep. So
for an hour for the whole pool,
the whole entire like facility,
whole pool.
So we've been doing that. We just did it as like a business expense so that we could train team members. So Saturday, I spent the day training Mermaid Nova, and had a sink and pose, and she was awesome. We got there and realized we'd forgotten Sean's goggles and his snorkel and his fins. So he borrowed my goggles, which fog no matter what we do. Like, I don't know what the trick is. We've tried every little voodoo trick. Like,
I just keep layering toothpaste on them and all this other stuff.
Like, it just will not. Like, Canada's weird, guys. It's so cold and we're so warm. And then we just get fog no matter what we do. Yeah, so we did that, and then Sunday we auditioned our final new mermaid. We wanted to audition her back in February, but she got stuck on an airplane and couldn't make the audition. So her name is Chanel. She doesn't have a mermaid name picked out yet. She's thinking on it. And she's our first Black mermaid, which is really exciting.
She's so awesome.
We've known her for 5 years, I want to say, at least 5 years.
Yep.
She's lifeguarded most of our parties, and the only reason why we didn't hire her before is because before we had fabric tails, before that was a thing, none of my rubber, like silicone tails would fit her. Mm-hmm. And nobody here, mermaids, like we still have such a small group, so it wasn't like she could easily buy a tail. And now the fabric tails are more plentiful. You can get stuff in your own size. So yeah, we're really excited. We do have one of our team members is fully native and another is partially native. She's white passing, but one isn't. And then we have Chanel, who's Black, and we have our merman David, but he hasn't been doing work with us right now because he's been with a sick family member. But hopefully, whenever we are allowed to reopen again, we're going to have a nice, diverse team. We've always wanted to have diversity. It's just honestly been tricky. When we hold auditions and stuff, we get a lot of weird applications.
It's a variety.
Maybe I should do a video on it. I was reading my Facebook memories about some of the ones we got last year, and I had
from all over the world too.
For people like all over the world asking to work for me, and I'm like, I'm not flying you here for a $250 mermaid party.
Keyword
Sorry.
Halifax.
Keyword, yeah. Or I had one woman who was like, well, you'll have to drive me and you'll have to buy me a tail and you'll have to do this. And I was like, wow. And you didn't even bother to fill out the whole application. So yeah, but we're really, really happy to have Chanel because she's been a lifeguard for so long. She's also got a child and youth background and a daughter, and she is an awesome swimming instructor. But just from having her lifeguard at our gigs, we already know her style and how she can handle stuff. So we're really she's going to be great. She's going to be awesome. So yeah, we trained some more of our team members, and Sean and I got a little sick from the chlorine.
You're not used to it. When you get out of the pool for that long and you get back into it, it's weird. It takes a while to get used to. I think we all just we're not on our A game right now. We're sort of all cautious, and that's good. But we're definitely, it takes a while to get back into.
Yeah, I'm still doing keto, and I've lost 15 pounds on keto. You can't tell at the moment because I have an endo flare right now. But my waist went down in size quite a bit. I've actually lost a lot of bloating because usually right now when I have an endo flare, my belly's out to here. And it is bloated right now, but it's not nearly as bad as it was. So that diet has been helping me. However, until your body has like fully transitioned to it, because it switches your body from burning carbs to burning fat, and until it makes the switch fully, you are so tired when you try to exercise.
Yeah.
So I'm like swimming like, like just dying. I'm starting to get the energy, and once I am fully like adapted, I'm hoping to build some muscle again, because I've really lost a lot of my, especially here. Like I has had a lot of problems right here
and shoulders
and right here.
Carrying the bags. We've been hiking a lot and visiting sites that are off off the different areas. So we've been doing a lot of hiking, and I even blew my back out at one point because we were doing so much hiking back and forth. But it's just all part of it. Honestly, we're just not as active when you're stuck at home. You
It's
don't get
kind
out
of
as much.
mind blowing
So,
when like we realized it. We would normally be in the pool 3 or 4 times in a week. You know, between gigs and swimming and training and stuff, we'd be walking every day. We'd be hitting the gym every second day, and just doing a lot more running around, like getting out of the car, going through parking lots. Like we're just not doing all of that anymore. And even though we're trying to work out at home and everything, I just got the Nintendo Switch Ring Fit game, and it's so hard. I didn't think it would be that hard. It's like taking me back to the Wii Fit, and you have to squeeze this thing. And right now, this is what I'm trying to work on. I'm really weak here. You know, normally they tell you like, oh, relax your shoulders, like stop punching them. I'm the opposite. I have to actually hike mine up a bit because they've been pulled out and they're like really far down. So I'm trying to like work these muscles, and they're so weak, and I'm trying to do this Ring Fit thing, and it's just like shaking
Nintendo
me.
games kicking your butt.
Yeah, like 10 minutes in, and I was like dripped in sweat and like exasperated.
I hope we have lots to do for the winter coming up. So we'll find ways. We'll get to swim just as much. We can keep the cases down. It'll be safe. So.
So Maggie was wondering if we'd seen Courtney in her new tail.
Yeah.
We're really excited for Courtney.
Yeah.
I've met Courtney finally in person at California Mermaid Con, and God love her, I was not in a good place at all. I was taking a new hormone drug for my endometriosis, and it turned me into a lunatic, and I did not want to be on the trip.
You were in a lot of pain. Whenever we travel, you tend to have like different sessions and deal with it different ways.
I broke both my toes.
Yeah, it was a rough trip as per usual when we go too far. I had a great trip, and I got to chat with all of them, and it was awesome. He
had so much fun, and the whole time I was like, I just want to be home in my bed. Like, I was happy to see my friends, but you know when you don't feel well and you just don't want to be around
But it was
people.
cool because I finally got to meet Courtney. I saw Mermaid. I got to see so many different people over there.
And we met Courtney's husband.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the California crowd this time. It was like the Canadian crowd too. So we got a bunch of pictures together and some videos, and it was just super cool. And I know we can't do that this year. So last year it was great. This year they had it all digital, which was super safe.
Yeah.
Really happy. They did such a good job. I can't wait till next year. I'm sure they'll figure something out for next year too. So
hopefully something will happen there. But yeah, Courtney's awesome. I loved her unboxing and her reaction, you know, that she's practically crying.
She's
but
so genuine,
when I met her, I had to like message her afterwards and be like, I genuinely am so happy to meet you, but also I feel like terrible, and please don't take it personally, because I walked around the California Mermaid Con with just like,
you're in pain,
this kind of a face, and like nobody wanted to approach me.
Yeah.
People would be like, Reina, and I'd be like,
what?
And I'm sure that there are people who met me at that and think I'm a horrible person, because I honestly, like, I was just not okay. I should not have been around people.
It was funny though, because when I bumped into them, I knew who they were, and I approached them. I'm like, I know you, how's this? And we're talking like we're old friends, and they're just sort of looking at me stunned. Same with Mermaid. She's like 5 foot nothing. And I'm just stomping on over. I'm like, hey, Mermaid, what's up? And she's probably looking at me going, who is this guy?
She's very tiny.
Yeah, she's tiny, and I'm talking to her like normal. And then the first thing I say is, you're a lot shorter than I look. You look online. And she hears that from everybody.
They're on the other side of our country, right? Like, we're on you can't get any further away from each other in our country. And our country is the second largest country in the entire world.
It's huge.
So, like, Russia's like the biggest, and then we're second.
It's closer to England for us than
for us to see, like, it's faster for us to go to England than for us to go.
We could go to England and back before we'd probably get to Vancouver. Where they are.
Yeah. So we're really, really far apart.
Yeah.
So that was really nice, and I hope I get to meet her again with No.
This one's live.
No, this is a live video, Thomas. So
Let me see if I got anything that's
I can't
watery.
go underwater right now. I mean, I can blow some bubbles into my.
I don't want to pour any water on you.
Yeah, Oliver, Canada is that large. So this is just us talking, Thomas. If you want to see some underwater video, I have a lot of underwater video on my channel. You can check it out. And we've got some more that we took this weekend that we're going to post. So now you got Sean looking at his gear.
I got tons of, I can't even see it from here. I have tons of stuff on here, and we haven't been able to use all our video yet. I'm actually working on a video right now for another member of our team that we hung out with all summer. So we have tons of stuff that we're still going to put out, and we've got hours and hours of video. It's just sitting down and staying indoors and working on it.
Yeah, we have lots of tutorials too that we're working on. And on Friday we did movie night with the Patreons.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we watched Mermaids: The Body Found, which is this.
It was awesome. Oliver was there.
Mockumentary that is pretty freaking hysterical.
It was fun as a group. It was even more fun as a group than it was individually watching it, because everyone's pointing out all the different parts, and it's like, oh, that's so fake. But at the same time, you can see why people fell for it. So.
Yeah, it was something. It's on YouTube if you want to watch it. And there's a second one. The second one is a little more convincing. It's called Mermaids: The New Evidence. But it was just kind of funny. But anyway, a couple things to show you. I got my new top from Siren Allure, and I tested it out yesterday.
It's solid.
It's meant to match a couple of my tails. And it's really heavy. It's heavier than I was expecting it to be, because it's probably got the most silicone on it, because it's got all these pieces, right? So my problem was, while I was moving around, because it's so heavy, it was kind of coming out like
leaning
this.
out a little bit. So
coming out like that. So I'll have to put some extra cups or something in it. But she does these really cool halter style that kind of blends in, and it's a bra thing, so you can clip it. I used to get scars on the back of my neck from the tops that had knots, where you needed to tie a knot, and that would scar the back of my neck.
We used to have the old shells with
shells.
Yeah.
Just shells.
Those must have been uncomfortable.
With rope.
Yeah.
Just shells and rope. And
I've never tried them on, but they looked uncomfortable.
It was fun times. So yeah, it's really gorgeous. She did a great job, I think. Look, it's my. It could be a headdress. There we go.
No.
I also had some necklaces I was going to show you. I've been ordering necklaces from this girl that goes by Morgana Magic. And she's on
California.
She's in California, and she's on Instagram. Anyway, this is one of the really beautiful pieces I got that I like. Really inexpensive stuff, under $100 for just about everything. And a lot of necklaces like this in other shops go for $300.
It's a good value for what you get.
And this one. Thomas, all of our upcoming videos that we're going to be posting they're going to have underwater footage. Yeah,
I got a bunch this week that we'll be putting out.
So yeah, I think that's really pretty, huh? You all know, I think I talked about it in the first video we did, that the whole story about these, right? This mold that everybody was getting crazy.
She does a good job too, because they all hold together, especially when we're wearing them near water.
Yeah, they're really gorgeous. She's got really great quality stuff. I like it. Our little black cat Luna right now is hanging out inside my wet tail bag. She is in love with the mermaid tail bag.
They like the chlorine smell, and it's what's left on it afterwards, so they'll sleep on it, which is adorable.
Yeah, it's really cute. So we can keep chatting a little bit, but if you want to ask questions, we'll try to answer them. It's a good time to ask stuff that maybe doesn't fit in a video, like stuff that just takes a couple minutes to answer.
Oh yeah. We've got so many stories of different things that we've done. We can't mention them all in our videos. So.
Was that a warning to me or them?
Who?
You saying that we can't tell all the stories.
Oh, both.
You're funny. You're funny.
Yeah, they do. They like the tails because they smell like chlorine and different things.
Yeah, our vet told us that cats like chlorine. It's like catnip.
They like the ocean too, though, because we were swimming in the ocean not long ago. Anyways, we're always hanging out in the ocean in one place or another. You bring the stuff back, and they'll just sit there and they'll lick the salt off, and you're like, should you be doing that? But whatever. They're happy.
Yeah, I'm like, what video? What are we gonna talk about? Like, because you
Which
made
one?
it sound you made it sound like we had some like scandalous thing to talk about, and then you're like, no, we can't talk about everything.
We don't talk about everything. I'm just generalizing.
So next month is Canadian Thanksgiving.
Yep.
And this weekend we're doing Thanksgiving with my family, and then the weekend after with Sean's family. So I get two Thanksgivings. I love having Thanksgiving in October. I feel bad for Americans in November.
We're going swimming again that weekend.
Probably.
Yeah, I think we're going swimming again. Yeah.
Yeah. Says the guy who wears a 7mm wetsuit. Well,
I'm never cold.
Yeah, no wonder you're never cold.
I wear booties, and I've got a hood, and I've got gloves.
You got a booty?
Yeah, I got a booty. But I also have booties for my feet, and it's no, it's great.
How do I still look like I have a bigger face than you do when you have all that extra hair? You have to like bring your head on par with mine. There, now I don't look like a pumpkin head. Look, I have such a big...
No, back up. You're gonna scare them.
No, it's my pumpkin head. Yeah, we love Thanksgiving, and well, I love Thanksgiving because it's like Christmas, but you don't have to stress out about the commercialism, right? Like you get like a really nice meal, you get together with family, but it's fall, so the weather is still nice, and you don't have to worry about snowstorms and stuff like we do. Yeah. I love Thanksgiving, and it's usually like warm enough that we can like go outside.
The ocean stays warm. It's a couple months behind, so it's still going to be warm even as it cools off right now. So we're still going to make a couple trips to the ocean at this point, and it seems crazy, but it's warm because we have the Gulf of Mexico coming up the coast, and it's still warm from all the sunshine we had. But by November, we're going to start to say that's probably a bad idea, and it's going to start really cold out. So
I do have a plan to get some winter photos with the drone. I want to go out on a frozen lake, and I've got this concept in mind.
We've got some friends that want to help us, so we've got some surprises there for winter time.
Yeah, so I'm hoping I can make it work. I usually try to get a Christmas photo in the snow before Christmas as well, so I can send it out with my Christmas cards. So last year we had a snow, and it was just a little bit of snow, and we went out with the little tree and did pictures. But the year before, we didn't do it for Christmas, but we went out with my blue tail, and we got those big fat snowflakes, and you did the slow motion.
When it's just at freezing, you get these huge snowflakes, and they fall super slow. So if I do a slow-mo with the super slow snow, it looks so cool. So we're going to try to do that again this year. We've got some friends that live nearby, and we're going to try to get out and do a photo shoot, but the weather has to be perfect. There can't be any wind, well, almost no. And if we want to get the drone out for it, I have to make sure it doesn't get wet. So
there's drone laws here too. That we have to be careful.
I can't be near buildings. I can't be near people. But if it's just us, it's easy.
So shout out to Tracy the Red in the comments here because she did her first like professional underwater photo shoot on the weekend. Yeah. And I happen to be friends with the photographer who was bragging about how awesome she was and how great she was. So little round of applause for Tracy.
Great job.
And Oliver is our first member feature on Patreon. So if people join our Patreon for $2 a month, we have all kinds of resources, behind the scenes, extra videos, that kind of stuff. And we've been writing features on each of our members so that everybody can get to know each other a little bit more. So that's kind of nice. So what do we have upcoming? So upcoming, we may actually be able to reopen Halifax Mermaids despite COVID because
there's no cases.
There's no cases. Yeah. So they're going to let us know kind of mid-October, and we might be able to start doing like a soft reopening following, rules. Right. So I have been on the phone with all the pools, just kind of getting reacquainted with them. There's been a lot of staffing changeover. So we're chatting with the pools and answering their questions, sending them our insurance, making our plans, getting our team trained up.
Even the lifeguards are different because we used to know all the lifeguards. You go to a pool and you get to know everybody. You could walk in and they just buzz you through. It's like, oh, it's the Mermaids again. It's easy. Even if it was me walking in and I'm just carrying a big pile of stuff, they're like, okay, it's the Mermaids again. Now all the lifeguards are different because nobody could stay on the same job for that long without getting paid or whatever. And there's been no chance to swim. So we went back in and we're starting to meet some of these folks. And 90% of the lifeguards are gone. So they're all new.
All of our people. I think we only saw 2 across both days that knew us.
We go in and we're talking with folks and they're saying, who are you? And we're not used to that.
No, because we've been doing this for 12 years and it's a small city.
Like this is our pool. So usually the reason they remember us is because we also introduce ourselves, we explain to them about our safety rules and regulations, and we may or may not have also brought them candy at one
I
point.
might bribe the lifeguards.
Sometimes
bring them treats.
They're all obviously taking care of themselves. They're all doing, swims in the pool.
A little appreciation goes a long way.
Yeah,
it goes a long way.
You bring them a little candy and some, just as a thank you, and say, please share these with your friends. Suddenly they remember who you are.
Yeah.
And it really helps when it comes to coming back next time and you say, listen, I've got to be there. I'm going to be a few minutes late. Can you take care of this? Or,
or when I forget my tops
right.
there.
We're going to be a minute. Can you just let them know that everything's okay?
How many times have I left my phone at the pool?
It happens, yeah. But they remember who we are, and then it helps with so many things. So.
Yeah, and we keep a good rapport with the pools, and then that gets us other opportunities because we can use the aquatics directors as references. So one of them gave us a reference for an award that we got, which is really cool. So it just really pays. A lot of mermaids get annoyed with lifeguards because they see them as like keeping them from swimming in pools, but it really pays off to just like get along with the lifeguards, work within their limitations, and you can earn kind of more freedoms as they see that you're safe.
Those rules are in place for a reason, and they're not there to be bartered with. They're basically there to keep people safe. So if you can go in there and learn the rules first and play by those rules and get to know people, like they're just going to be much cooler with you in general. That's all. Yeah, play by the rules, kids.
you really are like the internet merman.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
Yeah. The team members tease him and say Merdad. He's Merdad. Yeah. Do you see him getting you with the finger and everything?
Play by the rules. But in general, I mean that's the whole goal. Is running a business, and you don't want to mess with people. You don't want to get anything in the way. If there's a problem. These are the people you're going to be depending on. So treat them cool, and they'll be fine.
So what else do we have on the go right now? Coming up, we've got that. We've got Thanksgiving.
Yep. What else? It's weird because right now we'd still be wrapping up our gigs if it was a regular year, and we'd be exhausted. Like we probably would have just done the Scarecrow Festival in Mahone Bay.
That would have been on Sunday. Yep, would have been.
Because every year we do that.
That's my favorite gig. I get paid to sit in a hot tub.
Yeah.
It's so wonderful.
And
best.
What it is, it's like this little fishing village in basically in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, you should Google Mahone Bay because there's this famous picture of the three churches with their reflection in the water.
I think I have one of the videos for that on Instagram, but it's also part of a bunch of the other videos that we did. And the cool thing is that this little fishing town, which is known for having these huge 3 churches right in the bay as you sail in, and you can see them from far away. It's got all these coffee shops and all these storefronts, and you can walk up and down the boardwalk, and it's just the nicest place, especially in the fall. So they put scarecrows all along the boardwalk the whole way around.
And it's like a contest. Yeah. Like people do themes. They do like recreations of movies and stuff.
Yeah, the whole town gets involved, and the traffic is so backed up that it takes a good half hour to get through.
And it's to encourage tourism for people to like go out there and like foot traffic, right? Through everywhere.
It's super popular. We have so many normally American tourists and all these other groups, and they all come down and they just hang out. And it's just the nicest thing where you can sit there at a coffee shop and hang out and bump into a million different people and just relax. And it's fall and the leaves are all different colors. It's this picturesque, like sort of movie style place where you could just hang out and everything just feels awesome. So.
Yeah, so I get to sit in a hot tub when I do that gig, and I love it. Yep. And the kids all come up, and normally I would give them little makeovers and everything and send them on their way, get some pictures. But I love doing gigs for them. They always give me like a little gift too. And last year they gave us like these really nice mugs. And actually when we got married, they gave us a wedding gift too, which was really sweet. So.
And my mom even came down and hung out with us once. And I don't tell the story as well as you do.
Oh, right. So his mom was with me, and we were walking down the street, and we just kept smelling this smell.
Oh, no, wait, not that one.
And she's like, what is that? Is it tea? And I was like, it's funny tea.
In Canada, we're allowed to do that.
Cannabis is what it was.
But there was another one where the mermaid was getting waterlogged in the hot tub.
Oh, right, yeah. Right? So. Oh, these are both just like different gigs at the same place.
I know, same place.
Okay, so that was the one story that became the joke. Every time we smelled
it was funny tea.
Secondhand smoke, we called it funny tea. So that became a joke between me and his mom.
Yeah.
So the first time I worked this gig, I'm in the hot tub. It's like a really hot day, and my fingers are getting all wrinkly.
It's like 2 hours.
And, kids always ask about that. And I always tell them it's a mermaid thing. I say, I'm getting dried out. Like, does your skin get wrinkly when you're on land or in the water? And they say in the water. And I say, well, mine gets wrinkly when I'm on land because it means I'm a mermaid, but I'm drying out and I have to get back in the water again.
Yeah.
And then the little girl turns and looks at my mother-in-law and she goes, is that why you have so many wrinkles?
Yep.
And my mother-in-law, without missing a beat, she goes, yeah, but don't tell anybody.
Yeah, it's a secret.
It's a secret.
She's a secret mermaid.
So,
Yeah.
and then she could have been embarrassed or whatever
She
that
just
the
rolled
kid,
with it.
but the kid didn't mean it in a malicious way. The kid legitimately was like, oh, so wrinkles mean mermaids.
Yeah.
Are you a mermaid? Because you have
I love
wrinkles?
kids though, because they're just pure honesty when it comes to that stuff. Yeah.
And I went and got in the water and swam around. And
Yeah.
then when we got home, we found that a great white had migrated through the area at the same time.
Was that the one where I threw you in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people laughed.
There was this launching area for
Oh,
boats.
that was a different year.
Well, that was a different year, but it's the same spot. Anyways, there's this launching area, and it's nice and clean. Like it's the ocean, and it's not in your cities or anything like that. So I'm bringing the mermaids down because they want to get them into the water because it's really good picture and whatnot. And so we're bringing them down. I think I brought one down. I think I brought you down. It was good, or was it?
No,
the
you
other one
dropped
down?
me.
It was you. No, I launched her.
Launched.
See, when you're going down, and it was like a walkway, but it wasn't stairs. It was just steep.
It was a boat ramp.
It was a boat ramp.
Covered
That's where they
in
actually
algae.
launched the boats. So I got one mermaid in okay. I went back and got a second one, and I started sliding down the boat ramp. And at one point,
And the whole crowd's going, ooh.
And halfway down,
No one's
I
helping.
swear I was losing my balance, and I started to slide. And I got to the point there, and I was just like, and in you go. I launched her, and I swear I like half threw her, and she just went whoop, into the water, and I held my
And
balance and
everybody
didn't
clapped.
fall in, and everybody clapped. And I was like, I
We
almost
totally
fell
meant
in.
to do that. Totally,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah, we're just the awesome performing mermaids. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And I
I
swear,
didn't just almost die.
It was so funny. I couldn't get out of there fast enough. I basically, I almost fell on the way back up. I'm just like, I gotta get out of here. There's 100, 200 people staring at me at this point. And I meant that on purpose. And I'm out of there. I just took off.
Yeah, we really like that area. We do a
It was
lot
awesome.
we've done a lot of gigs in there over the years. And then one year we went there for my sister's wedding, and my whole family took over this bed and breakfast except for one couple that were there. And then my whole family got loaded and like super loud, and
we talked with everybody who walked
kept
past.
this other couple awake, and the poor guy who owned the Airbnb was like, I'm sorry, they're having a wedding, they're very excited.
It was fun, though.
But
It was a lot of fun.
he had a big clawfoot tub, and he let me get
It was
pictures
so
in
nice.
it.
Yeah, we
so-
got shots in the mermaid tail in the tub. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
that was nice. That was back when I had my rubber ones. I mean, I still have them, but I didn't have fabric, so I was like trying to get in the silicone the whole way.
Took a
So,
while.
ooh, yikes. Like silicone tails are great. I think everyone should get a chance to try one. And I do love my tails. They're works of art. But man, you realize like how difficult they really are once you get really nice fabrics and you can use them all the time. Because I get a hole in my fabric, I can stitch it up. I get a hole in my silicone, I gotta ship it cross country. Like it's expensive and hard. So
Yeah.
what are you saying?
Lunched her with the great white.
Yeah, you lunched me with a great white. Yeah, it wasn't the same weekend, thankfully. So that's normally we have that in the fall. We were saying that a couple years ago, I was still in the water in October, but it's really weird here. Last year, it was snowing on Halloween, so it was cold. And then like the year before, we were swimming. We have a saying like, you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes and you'll get all four seasons.
It's kind of
wait
like
an hour.
Florida, where it rains part of the day and it does some other stuff. We're like the Florida of Canada, just colder, a lot colder.
We really are. We're the Florida of Canada.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, feel free to ask any questions and we can just keep chatting away and trying stories. And Shawnee's been working hard at learning underwater photography, and that's been fun.
Doing so many things. I'm trying to get these videos out. There's so many videos that I want to get done in the next little while and try to have something for Halloween and have something ready
We're planning on reorganizing our entire apartment. We've been trying to find a place to live. But for anyone who doesn't know, the rental, the occupancy rate in where we live is only 1%. There's only like 1% open.
Well, everyone's moving here too because they hear that we don't have many cases of COVID. So I swear, if you live in Canada and you live in a major city right now, real estate wise, you're like, why would I live in this big city surrounded by all these people when I could go somewhere where it's like
safe
no
and by the
cases?
ocean and nice.
Yeah,
so there's
and
kind
do
of
the same work.
There's two problems here. One is that it's a buyer's market, so the houses are going for way above asking price, and we're pretty okay financially, but not okay enough to like get in a bidding war with somebody,
Well,
you know,
it's also like every other sort of situation right now for anybody who's trying to buy a house. You know, you're entering a market that's heavily sort of overpriced in some ways. So no matter what you do right now, it's hard to win.
And then we've been trying to find maybe an apartment or a condo or a rental,
different,
like something to rent, but there's just no rental stuff. And then what is out there is also being rented way above asking price, like $500 more than what we're paying for less than what we have.
Right.
And that's like the low end of things.
Yeah.
Like it's getting to be like New York prices. Like it's kind of freaky, actually.
Comparatively, New York's insane too.
Yeah, but like compared to like the rest of Canada, like we're becoming like
it's getting higher. It's getting higher.
Yeah, it's getting
We're still
insane.
not the highest, but yeah.
It's crazy. So anyway, we cannot find a new place to live, and we live in a really crappy rundown apartment. So we are going to try to reorganize stuff in the next little bit so that we can turn another room into like our studio space. And then our goal would be to have this, you know, the nice backdrop, maybe have some plants and stuff.
Not really nice right now. It's kind of thrown together.
You know, like just like
I
have
really
like
drape this off. Yeah.
Have a nice setting that we just leave that's like permanently set up. And
I want to set up
our videos
one
there.
wall as a green screen, and then set up another wall with this, and do like different backgrounds for different setups, so we could just shoot a video whenever we feel like it.
Yeah, so anyway, we're working on that. It's going to take us a little bit, and that I've got some videos set aside where we don't need to be like on location, and we can just use clips that we already have. So I have like plans for like educational videos for the Mer community, and that's what we're going to work on there. And then Sean has a whole bunch of stuff from the summer. We still have a few things from last year that we never quite finished because they're big projects, like this video. Remember we did the one on Christy, Pure Rebel Model, the nice big long one? Well, we have another one of those on Mermaid Glimmer, which is probably longer. And so it just takes a lot of editing work, because with Glimmer, she is like a light engineer, and we went through her home and she showed us all the lighting that she engineered. Cool. And she teaches girls to like get them into this. And she's got a bunch of new stuff. She has a tail that lights up, so she was like the first person in the industry to do this. So we took all the clips with her a year ago, but there's a lot. So it's a huge project. Also, everyone's always asking about our documentary, and like it's just in limbo, and I'm hoping everybody can see it soon. But I was talking to the producer recently, and he was just kind of giving me updates there. Yeah. So I hope at some point. And I think it's either next week or the week after. I'll let people know. I'll put it like on the alert that will be on the History Channel on Lords of the Ocean. And it'll be the episode where I worked the gig with Broken Toes in the tank. Yeah. So I did like a gig last year. You guys probably saw the video of it, where I had to do a tank show for this fancy party with 2 broken toes. And I was trying to do the whole show without putting my feet all the way into the tail.
That was a cool gig. Yeah, I think I made a small video of that one already, and it should.
That's what I said. It's up there, and I talked about it. I have behind the scenes and everything. Yeah. So this will be the TV appearance of it. So it'll be on TV, which will be cool. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it just takes up to a year or more to put this stuff out.
Usually, especially where we're seasonally based, if they film in the summer, it doesn't air till the next summer. Like, it's weird. Yep. Also, we have a press release coming out for Halifax Mermaids soon, just for when we get back into things and to kind of celebrate the success we've had doing online stuff. So there'll be some news articles about that. Mermaid Nova is fixing my fin folk tail right now, and she's filming it while she does it. So she's rescaling it. She's putting fins on
Extra fins on it, yeah. It'll be a custom...
Fixing it up for us.
One of. Nobody will have anything
It's like still this. Really short on me, and I'm not super comfortable with, like, the muffin top, but we'll see what happens. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've lost 15 pounds since I had it on last, so I might fit it better. I don't know. Or I might just find a Gap wrap or something.
I think Nova's on YouTube as well.
No, I think she's on Instagram, Mermaid_Nova.
Yep.
Yeah. Maggie wants to know, what is our most embarrassing story? I feel like we told...
Embarrassing for who?
We told one of them before in the last video where I lost the top, but then I got a job out of it.
Right.
There's been a couple of times that you've fallen.
Oh, yeah.
Remember we fell once?
Well, she always falls on me. I make sure the mermaid falls on me. So...
Except for that time where he pushed me in the dolly, and then the dolly flipped up backwards, and I went backwards, but up with that.
That was funny, though.
One time I really humbled myself. If you go way back in my videos, you can see this clip, probably from 8 years ago or something. I met a Special Olympian who was a swimmer, and he was talking to me, and I was being very sweet to him, but I have to completely admit that I was like, oh yeah, you swim, good for you. Like, I didn't think he was, I don't know what I was
Really
thinking.
good,
I was
yeah.
biased and ableist, so I wasn't thinking. Anyway, he challenged me to a race, and by the time I got my head under the water, he was already across the pool and
He was
back.
gone.
And we have it all on video, and you just see me go,
Yeah.
oh, like
Seriously,
like
good
this
swimmer.
weird, awkward wow that I put out. So that was a bit embarrassing
No.
because I should never have judged a book by its cover, right?
This guy knew how to swim.
Oh yeah,
fast.
he was super
Yeah.
talented. So that was good. What else was embarrassing? Any other embarrassing one?
You think I remember?
Oh my god, I have a good one. It's not so much embarrassing for me, but it's a good one. So Mimi and I work these tank shows and work these gigs, and then we always set up like a tent so that we can change and everything. And I have a bladder disease, right? So I have to pee, so you know what story's coming. I had to pee so much. And
I'm used to this.
Mimi is like my best friend, so there's like no boundaries. We're joking all the time. We have so much in common. She's like my cousin from another family. Like, it's crazy. So I have a bladder disease, and sometimes when I get cold, it's like I have to pee now. Like, if I don't get out of the tank, I'm gonna pee in the tank, and we're gonna be swimming and pee in the tank, and I don't want to do that, right? So I got out of the tank, and I couldn't get to the bathroom. There's nobody around. I'm in a tent that's completely locked off. So I just went to the corner of the tent and I peed in the grass because I really had to pee. Like, I wasn't going to make it.
Of course you did.
If I ran out, I would have had pee going down my legs. So I pee in the corner, and then I go back. We do our gigs, and then we come back in, and I'm in there changing. And Mimi doesn't want to open the door because she knows I'm changing. So she lifts the bottom of the tent up, and she grabs through my pee the whole time. I'm going, no, but I'm laughing and I can't get it out. And she's like, what? And I'm just like, that's my pee. And she's like, you have to pee.
No.
And I'm like, no, you're clapping
Go
through
home
my
and
pee.
take a shower. Yeah.
And then just last summer, she scared the poop.
Oh my gosh, she scared us.
She scared us.
She came around because she's wearing a hoodie, and you can't see her face, and I think it was pouring rain or something.
It was pouring rain, and we had to do a gig, and we had to be outside, and it was like 14 degrees out, and windy and cold, and we're in the car, and we're stressed out. We're kind of bickering at each other.
Well, we're trying to figure everything out, and we're in the middle of the rain, and we're like, is this
And
gonna
I
happen?
listened to all this true crime stuff about serial killers and stuff, and I was like, on a big binge before we came, I was like listening to all this stuff about serial killers.
Yep.
And so we're kind of like, not arguing, but like picking at each other.
Well,
so
we're both irritated because we don't know if we're doing this thing in the middle of the rain or not.
Yeah, and I can't get hold of anybody.
Yeah,
and
that's not fun. You know, I don't mind doing it.
we're cranky, we're cold. It's a lot of work to set up. So anyway, I glanced to my left, and there's like what I think is a man's face peering in
the window with a hoodie all wrapped around, and she's like
screaming because that's what they say to do in the serial killer podcast. It's just great.
So anyway, she's screaming, and my ear is this far away from her. And she will not stop screaming, and I'm like,
going,
what?
What?
And she won't stop screaming.
I'm having a panic attack.
I thought she went crazy. Like, I'm not even joking. For a fraction of a second, I was like, oh, I've lost her. This is it. Whatever it was, this was it. She's gone. She's crazy now.
I can't even get it out to like tell. And he's like, poor Mimi is like, oh my God, what did I do? He finally opens the door, and she's just like her little face, and she's like, sorry.
Hey guys.
You had to be there, but
oh my gosh,
she just terrified us.
Yeah, I think I had adrenaline pumping through me for like an hour. I was like, what am I gonna do? She's gone crazy on me. Do I hopefully I got the wheelchair in the back. Maybe I can push her, get her to some help or something. So I don't know.
Mimi and I are just like, we have the most ridiculous stuff in common. And I was telling somebody about this recently that like we showed up without realizing it to a Halloween party in the exact same costume, and we'd even painted our faces the same. And it's just like at this point when we do things, we wear the same outfit, or we find out some weird coincidence between the two of us. We're just like, well, of course. Like,
we both showed up as deer one year.
And like painted, like had fake antlers.
Yeah. They both decided to be a deer.
Like
The same
randomly,
Halloween, right?
like-
Because that's not normal, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I love her. She's so great. She was like the second mermaid we worked with when we started Halifax Mermaids. My
Yeah.
sister was the first.
Yeah.
And we have just so many stories like that. I'm not a huge drinker, and I have 2 drinking stories about Mimi. One, she invited us over to her place. I don't know if it was New Year's or what, and we were playing Mario Kart, and she made me Baileys in hot chocolate. And I'm not a big drinker, so it can hit me pretty hard, even just Baileys. And it just made me sleepy. And so while they were playing video games,
You fell
I'm
asleep.
in a sparkly New Year's dress, and I just laid down on the floor.
You fell asleep.
Went to sleep.
Yep. Merry Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think we told the other story about her wedding. I think we told it on the first one where I had to give the news interview after the night
Oh,
of drinking
yeah.
because her sister kept putting it in my drink.
You had a little too much, and I had to drive them downtown. Well, I took some of them downtown, and then a certain someone couldn't make it that far, so I brought it home.
Certain someone did not drink, and her friend's sister kept putting tequila in my
Yep.
drink, and I never had tequila before either. And I'm just not a drinker. Like I like my glass of wine here and there or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was all bad.
We got you cleaned up though, and it got you in bed. And
So,
everything was fine.
I have a gig the next day, and it's I'm like,
At a library.
how old was I? Like 28, and it was my first time being hungover in my life,
Something like that, yeah.
something like that.
But no, hungover like this, not like hungover, but like hung over.
Yeah, like had to hold me up in the shower.
Oh my gosh.
And
yeah.
I was panicking because I did not choose to get drunk. Somebody put stuff in my drink, and I did not choose this for myself, and I did not expect it. So like the whole night, I'm panicking.
We knew there was a gig the next day.
I didn't want to be drunk.
So
like
we're
I had a gig,
right? We need to be ready for anything, including a news crew that might want to interview us that morning.
So that morning, he's holding me up in the shower.
Yeah.
I'm crying because I'm like, this isn't me. Like, I don't like being like this. And I'm trying to drink water, and I'm all puffy. And, like, it's just, like, it's all bad. And I'm like, it's okay. It's just an hour gig.
Yeah.
I'll just get there. I'll get through it.
Yeah.
It'll be okay. And just never have anything like this happen again. It's okay. So I go, and I had bought a great big thing of lube, like lube,
To get
personal
into the
lube,
tail, right.
to get into the tail, because this is back when the rubber tails are really hard to get in. So I'm changing in this librarian's office, and I've got one leg
In a public library.
in the tail, and Sean comes in, he says, hey, the news is here and they want to film you. And I'm like, what? And then the librarian comes in and she's like, hey, there's 300 kids out there.
It
And
was
we
packed.
were expecting like 20.
Yeah, it was packed.
I didn't have
Yeah.
materials enough. So I'm hungover. I've got my one leg in this thing, and I'm like, oh my, I can't believe that this is happening to me, but okay. Like, and my head is pounding.
Yep.
So I get both legs in there. I get it up. And this is before I had a company, and it was Mimi's right before her wedding. So she couldn't fill in for me. Like, it wasn't like I
There was
could
nobody
tag
else.
somebody, and
Yeah.
like nowadays, right? So anyway, I'm just like, no, I have to suck it up. I have to get this done. Like, just smile. We'll get through it. I get the tail on. We go out to do the gig. Forget the lube in the office.
Yeah.
So somebody came to their office on
The next
Monday
day.
morning and found a big industrial size tub of lube on their desk, and probably had no idea why it was there. So that was
Surprise.
embarrassing.
Yeah. I don't
And
think we went
then-
back for it either. I don't think we went back
No,
for it.
I was too embarrassed. We
I
didn't go
think-
back for
I don't
it.
think we ever actually said it was ours. I think it was just a welcome surprise for someone later.
Yeah. So I go and I do the gig, and the kids are amazing. There's like 300 of them. The news is filming me the whole time. They're getting Sean to like pick me up and move me around. And I'm doing my best to be like very present with the kids and everything. And like the whole time I'm just so self-conscious because again, I don't like, this is not something I chose for myself.
Yeah.
And I would definitely tell any professional mermaid, like, do not choose to get drunk before.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh. It's like
right?
an unspoken rule that we all understand. Yeah,
Right?
We all know that.
Like,
yeah.
you have to be professional.
Right.
And again, this was a case of like someone putting something in my drink and me not knowing it because it was like a fruity drink, and I didn't even know because I was eating and drinking water too. So I really didn't know until I got up to to the SpongeBob, the pinata, SpongeBob pinata, and then I was like, oh.
But the gig went well. That's the point. And things went great. And the news loved us.
I look. The video clip is on YouTube. It's on my YouTube. Me in the library, and I'm so puffy. I just look like you could take my face and squeeze it, and tequila would just come out of me.
But she sounded great. It looked good. They got video of me carrying her. I think it was into the library.
Yep.
And everything went perfect. They got all the clips they wanted. I think we still talk to some of those folks. So.
Oh, it was years ago, and I still have parents who were like, "That was so great, my kid loved it." Like, so it's funny. Like for me, it was one of the hardest and most embarrassing moments of my life.
Yep.
But then it was like I pulled it off. I was professional. Made it work. I never drink before gigs now. Even like when I had a drink there, it was meant to be like I'm at my best friend's bachelorette party, so I'm having a mixed drink, and I have 4 hours to eat and drink water, right? Like it wasn't like
it was funny though because I remember back then too that not everyone in the wedding party understood or took seriously all the mermaid stuff that we'd been doing.
That's right.
And they basically were like, oh yeah, they do
really
mermaid
judgmental.
Things. And they're kind of like, I'm not even sure what that means. And then they all watched the news segment the next day. And they're like, Mimi, she's a mermaid. And I swear they were her biggest fans after all of that.
It completely changed it around.
It completely flipped everything. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, we're so proud of you. We had no idea you did this stuff.
Yeah, it was cute.
Like, oh, great.
And their wedding was so great. Mimi is just like, so Sean like was running around trying to do everything he could help with their wedding.
Yep.
And the next morning after the wedding night, they spent their wedding night on their boat, and they got up in the morning, and Mimi looked at her husband, and her husband goes, do you think Sean was just shit out by an angel?
What's funny is that she's expecting him to say something romantic because it's the first words he's saying after they wake up the next morning.
As husband and wife.
Just got married, husband and wife, and she's looking into his eyes and she's wondering what he's going to say, and then she says that about me, and I'm like, oh. Like, what do you say when someone says something like that? But anyways, our next video is actually going to be on Mimi and her little family, and they're the most adorable, wonderful people. So I can't wait for you to see it. I've been working on it for about a week. Getting all the clips together is really tricky because we've known her a long time, and we got to spend a bunch of time on it with her boat and do some underwater like video and all some other stuff. So I'm just finishing getting that all into the video now, and I just can't say enough nice things about her. She's the sweetest lady ever.
Yeah, we really love her. So there's some embarrassing stories that you can all hold over me later. I don't know if we'll do a video in 2 weeks or not. I'm going to play it by ear. I would like to keep these up every 2 weeks, but our next 2 weeks aren't really going to have much mermaid stuff in it. It'll be after that. We'll have to see.
I think it's just there's so much going on.
The 10th and the 11th, but I don't know how far that is from now.
And I do want to work on some projects to get ready for the holidays. We probably will sneak out and get some fall stuff done. Maybe some Halloween things. Because time's flying. It's the end of September. This is it. And we're about to hit October. And we got to have, it's going to be Halloween. It's going to be Halloween soon. So, yeah.
So, yeah, if there's any questions anybody has before we go, we've got a couple minutes left, and then we can answer a couple quick ones. We can try anyway. And then we'll probably wrap up in like 5 or 6 minutes. But we really enjoy doing this with all of you. It's kind of fun for Sean and I to stop and actually reminisce on stuff because we don't always stop.
If we do it in 2 weeks, it'd be the 12th. And 2 weeks,
so yeah, it would be after our next 2 pools. So yeah, we probably will do it then in 2 weeks.
Plus, we could do a Halloween episode on like the 26th.
And we're gonna do, for those of you who are on our Patreon, we're gonna do a Halloween night. We're gonna vote on some movies. We will only be able to vote like across movies that Sean and I own because of the laws around displaying stuff online.
Gotta follow the rules.
So, but we do own a bunch. So. Tracy, YouTube censored your comment?
Yep.
She wants to know if you were. Is it true?
I don't remember.
Your mom was an angel.
You're probably.
Did you show them the painting that
I think I've showed other people this before, right? Yeah.
We should dress up as each other, Heather said. I wanted to do that TikTok challenge, where it's like the two of them and one of them's dancing and then they snap and they switch clothes.
Yeah. So this was made and given to me as a gift. Oh, there we are. That's my mom there.
Go grab the picture of your mom off the fridge so they can see how accurate this is. Yeah. It's crazy how much it looks like her. Sean's mom passed away a year ago in May, and she was a big supporter of our mermaid work. And she, for her 70th birthday, she tried being a mermaid, and I took her swimming in the ocean, and she totes did it. She also did a handstand on her 70th birthday.
Oh, she did awesome.
And that was her there. That's probably one of the nice ones there, yeah.
Yeah, Shawnee and his brother and his mama.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
This woman was wearing a bikini in her 60s. Like, she was fit.
Yeah.
Really fit.
Yeah.
I'm like the least fit person in Sean's family, and like, look at me. But like, I'm the least fit. Like, his sister is like She-Hulk.
Oh, she's a firefighter now in
Yeah,
California.
no, she literally looks like She-Hulk.
She is like beast mode.
Yeah. Yeah. She makes me look tiny.
She dresses up like Wonder Woman for the kids. So.
And it works. Yeah.
So I'm thinking my endo's starting to kick in now. I'm starting to do the rocking because I'm getting the tummy pain, and I need
that 'cause your head looks big.
I need a hot water bottle. It's everything's my belly's about to look big. So we are probably gonna wrap it up because I need to probably hop in the tubby or something.
Okay. I'm gonna go work on Mimi's video some more. It'll be out this week. If anyone has any other ideas or stuff like that, we'll be back in a couple weeks, and I'm sure we'll have more to talk about. And then we'll maybe do a Halloween one on the 26th, which would be fun.
And I would really like to have a live stream for my birthday. Kind of like a birthday party. My birthday falls on November 16th, which is a Monday. And it's not until November. But I just think it'd be really fun to have like a live stream birthday, and we can tell you some funny stories. Maybe I can open presents on camera. Like, I don't know. It'd be cute. So I just want to do something fun because I won't be able to really do anything big in person. I'll be turning 35.
Yep, that's in between weeks, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay, bye everybody. Thank you so much for joining, and like and subscribe. Check us out on Patreon. That's how we can afford plants to put on the side of the couch.
We can
make it look
get,
better.
We can get a better backdrop.
Get a better backdrop.
I can finish it. You know. Yeah.
Where's the mouse? There it is. Bye.